Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Nilambujasyamalakomalangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Maha Sayakacharu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side, and he is carrying a powerful bow and arrow in his hands. Sri Ramcharitmanas, Aranya Kanda, and Doha number 15 continues. The context at this stage is Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, and all the close associates in the forest. They are in Panchavati ashram. Rama is centrally in Panchavati, and that's his ashram. So all people gather there, saintly personalities, and there is constant satsanga day by day. But here, in this context, Sri Rama is giving insight into bhakti, devotion, to Lakshmana. Here Rama and Lakshmana, they are together in privacy. In other words, this is a very close-knit teaching. And we have already gone through several points, and we continue. Bhagati ki sadhana kahun bakhani, sugama pantha moi pavahi prani. I will tell you the means to attaining bhakti. Bhakti is a path that is sugam. If you develop it, there is no effort, because it is a blossoming of love. Love doesn't tire you out. So if you have developed love towards God, there will not be a sense of how long have I loved Him. There should not be a sense of boredom or exhaustion or effort. It should become sweet, saras, spontaneous. Prathama hi Bipra charana ati priti, nij nij karma nirata shruti riti. The means to attaining bhakti are being highlighted. Bipra charana priti, Vipra, Brahmanas, Dvijas, they are not referring to caste restriction. They are referring to all those who have developed spiritual insight and inspiration to Godward journey. All those who consider themselves Dvija, twice born. Anyone from the four classes. First is birth, biological. There you are described as belonging to a Brahmana, a Kshatriya, a Vaishya, a Shudra, a black or a white. But when you have developed a spiritual sensitivity, you are not identified with the family where you are born, or with the caste to which you belong. So that type of personality is Vipra. In other words, saintly personalities. One should develop love, preeti, for the feet of saintly personalities. Again, people take it literally, which has its own value, very profound value. You love the personality of saints and sages, and you place your head very close to the lotus feet of the sages. And Pada Puja, worship the feet. But all this should not confine itself to ritual. The real meaning behind worshipping the feet is to follow the teachings given by sages. The way sage has walked, that path you have to follow. So look at his footprints. And in order to be sure you are looking at footprints, look at his feet. So, allegorically speaking, that's Vipracharan Ati Priti. Nij nij karm nirat shuti riti. And also, you must be skilled in performing your duties. Skill implies karma yoga. Everyone has to perform duties, but in a dull state of mind, duty simply means keeping yourself busy in action. And action, the type of any work you do, the work is viewed as something like a distraction. While you are working, your mind is, oh, I have to do the puja. No, puja has its own time. When you are doing your duty, focus your mind on the duty you are performing. If you are a doctor, focus your mind on the patient and what you must do to help the patient. In every situation, consider your duty itself as a form of worship. You are an instrument in divine hand. And in divine plan, God is presenting certain duties for you day by day. And you must perform the duties with love, with the spirit of surrender, and with the spirit of adoring God through your activity. So whatever duty you are performing, continue. Always remember the teaching of the Gita. Upadrashtanumantacha bharta bhokta maheshwara. God is watching over you. So perform your duty. God is like a mother watching. When you are making your tea, make it well. Do not put your teapot right on the stove. In other words, I'm joking. Follow perfect skill in whatever you are handling. And deep down, develop a sense of love of God. Karma nirat shuti riti. This is according to the teachings of the scriptures. When karma is performed according to the teachings, karma becomes karma yoga. And since I have quoted that Upadrashtanumantacha, if you are performing correctly, you will receive inspiration. And if inspiration begins to be experienced by you, you develop love for surrendering yourself to God, realizing God is Bharta. He is your Lord and Master. And He is the real enjoyer. Your ego does not enjoy. Ego is illusory aspect of your personality. And if surrender to God becomes perfect, your sense of individuality has melted away, then you are nothing but the divine self. Yahi kar phala puni vishaya viraga taba mama dharma upaja anuraga. Performing action in the spirit of karma yoga, and that becomes possible if bhakti has been kindled in your heart, devotion to God. That's the secret of turning karma into karma yoga, turning your sentiments into bhakti yoga, turning your willing movement of the mind into dhyana yoga, and reasoning into jnana yoga. All yogas are secured and enhanced if bhakti enters your heart. In a very simple way, in every performance of a duty, if your heart is involved, then the duty that you perform has a great rewarding and enriching effect. If a heart is not involved in a positive way, then the duty that you do, no matter how wonderful it is, leaves you in a state of stress, in a state of perspiration, not inspiration. So, performance of karma yoga is a part of practicing bhakti. And this leads to Vishaya Viraga, dispassion towards pleasures of the senses. Pleasures of the senses, again you have to understand, it is mind being drawn to eat, drink, be merry, that type of material philosophy. If that is happening, your mind is being trapped by Vishaya Sukha, sense pleasure. But if you are developing bhakti, sense pleasure is not the means to your real happiness. That insight you begin to develop. You begin to discover the importance of samyama, living a life of moderation, the importance of exercising your reasoning, what will be really helpful to you for your spiritual progress, not what will simply give you delight in your tongue. This should not be taken literally, that you should not allow your tongue to have any tasty stuff. Rather, you will have more tasty if you realize what you are eating is prasad of God. Shavanadik nava bhakti dhirahi mam leela rati ati manamahi. And 9 modes of devotion gradually begin to enrich the devotee. 9 modes will be taught by Rama in a special way in this context of Shabari. Rama gives teachings of 9 modes of devotion. But whenever we say 9 modes, this is typical teaching from Bhagavad Puran. Shravana, Kirtana. Shravana is listening to the glory of God. That's what you are doing. Kirtan, when you begin to use music with that, when you begin to sing the praises of God. Smarana, and while you are singing, your mind is swept by the vision of God's glory. Archana, you are invoking God through every name and form. In a ritual way, various mantras are used to perform archana of God. Vandana, you bow down, a constant Siya Ram Mai Sab Jag Jani. God abides in every name and form. But that's the most advanced stage. An early stage, wherever you find any impressive type of experience, a peacock is dancing, a bird is flying in a joyous way, a flower is blossoming, the breeze is blowing in a nice way, the sky is colored with red, golden colors. All this I'm giving just simple. Develop a special touch of God's vision. You are having darshan of God through all these inspiring scenes. If that type of vision develops, you are constantly bowing your head, not literally. Can do literally as well as from a ritualistic aspect. Next is dasya. View yourself as an instrument in God's hand. You are a slave. God is the master. But slave in a very profound way. And the word is das. Many saintly people are known as Ram Das, Tulsi Das, Krishna Das. So that's the spirit of dasya. Sakhya, come closer to God. You develop a sensitive understanding of your relation with God. You open your heart to God and play the role of Arjuna and Krishna. And finally, Atmanivedan, completes self-effacement. So Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran, Archan, Bandhan, Dasya, Sakhya, Atmanivedan, these are the 9 modes of devotion. In addition to this, Mam Leela Rati Ati Manamahi, and this is extension of Smarana. Allow your mind, instead of dwelling upon the news after news that go on breaking over your head. Open the pages of Ramayana, Gita, Bhagavad Puran, Mahabharata, Yoga Vasishtha, and allow your mind to be steeped with glory of God. Santa Charana Pankaja Ati Prema, Man Krama Bachana Bhajana Dridha Nema. There should be profound love for the lotus feet of saints, which I have explained, not just physical feet, but the teachings, not just loving in a distant way, but practicing the teachings, following the instructions in your life, and adopting the path of bhajan. Bhajan is singing the glory of God, reciting the glory of God. But this recitation should not be confined only to your words. It should emanate for deep within your mind. Man, vachan, karma. Manasa, vacha, karmana. Thought, word and deed. Guru pitu matu bandhu pati deva. Sab mohika jana dridha seva. And in all relations, try to understand the inspiration comes from God, who is shining through your guru, your father, your mother, your brother, your husband, your wife, and your deity. You are always involved with all these. That's the rich present picture of life. But all the personalities that is making your life joyous, through them see one God. One God is operating through your guru. That God operating through your mother. Matri Devo Bhava, Pitri Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. That Devo is the source, the reality behind all inspirational personalities, all inspirational relationships. Even see God in your children. But that's a deeper understanding. It doesn't mean that you begin to act when your child has come and you start putting your head at his feet. It doesn't mean an external show. It's an internal understanding. That's the picture of Ananya Bhakti. You love so many people. It's perfectly commendable. Love Guru, love Mother, love Father, love all near and dear ones. And love, in Upasana you love Rama, Krishna, Shiva, different deities. But understand, behind all these mediums of love, God is being worshipped. So deep down, you are loving only one Rama, one Absolute, one Shiva, call whatever name. but that's one absolute. It is He being loved. You can call He as she as well. You can worship God as Father, as Mother. But God is God. And He is being worshipped. Mam gun gavat pulak sharira, gad gad gira nayana bahanira, kama adi mad dambhana jake, tat nirantar bas mein take. While singing the praises of God, one experiences thrill all over his body, and it brings about speech that is drenched with love, Gad-gad Vani. When you say certain things with very lovingly, watch how your words flow from your mouth. And when you say it with hatred, watch, record it, and listen how the tone is different. The speech that emanates from a joyous heart, loving heart that is melting with love. During that time when you say something, the voice is called gad-gad. It is drenched with love, like a cloud coming to rain down nectar. Pulak Sharira points out to different sentiments, how they react in your body. And let me give you Swarabhang. Words you speak, you can't speak straight. Your words begin to shake out of divine sentiment. It's called Swarabhang. Vishmay. You develop the eyes that as if you have seen something so wondrous. An expression of mystic surprise. Kampan. Your body shakes, trembles. Pulak. Your body gets thrilled. Romanch. The hairs stand on the end. Ashrupat. Tears flow from your eyes. Swed. Inspiration comes in such a way that there is kind of a cool sweat, murcha, and you come into the state of ecstasy, and as if the body idea is completely forgotten. These signs were seen in great devotees like Sage Chaitanya, Tulsi Das, Surdas, and all great devotees. And everyone, depending upon how your devotion is progressing. Kama adi madambhana jake, tat nirantara basmay take. And he who is free of malas, kama, krodha, lobha, mada, matsarya, lust, anger, greed, delusion, jealousy. All these impurities, they do not dominate his mind. For such a devotee who is free of malas, I abide in his heart forever. Vachana karma mana mori gati bhajan karahi nishkam. जिनके हृदय कमल महु करऊं सदा विश्राम. He who has his goal as union with me, meri gati, all his existence, all his life is involved in Godward movement, action, your words, your mind, your thought, word and deed. All these must be permeated by love of God. This is not a difficult task. If you have love, automatically all these become permeated by it. Even in your daily life, love has its many levels. For majority of people, love is based on moha. But whichever way you have developed love, your thought becomes colored, your words flow according to your love, and your actions, all these become colored by love. So for a person who has developed that type of love that dominates thought, word and deed, I abide in his heart, lotus of his heart forever. Bhagati yoga suni ati sukha pava, Lakshmana Prabhu charanani sirnava. Listening to the teachings of Bhakti Yoga, Lakshmana was extremely delighted and placed his head at the lotus feet of Rama. Yahi vidhi gaye kachuka din biti, kahat virag jnana gun niti. Thus, many more days passed. Daily Sri Rama talked about vairagya, jnana, guna. Guna refers here to Davi Sampat, how to develop those divine virtues, and niti, how to conduct yourself in a way that you are spiritually enriched. And now we are shifting into the episode of Shurpanakha. Shurpanakha Ravan ke bahani, dushta hriday darun jasa ahini, panchabati so gaye kabara, dekhi bikal bai jugal kumara. Shurpanakha was Ravan's sister. The relationships were from many sources, but Shurpanakha is described as sister of Ravana. Ravana is ignorance, ajnan. Shurpanakha is love for Vishaya Sukh. Vishaya Sukh's pleasures of the senses. The spirit behind the pleasure of the senses is Shurpanakha. Shurpanakha literally means her nails are like winnowing fans. Shurp. In village language called it soup. Not the soup you suck. The soup that works upon the harvesting of rice, wheat. Whenever you are working with that harvest, by winnowing fan you throw off husk, unnecessary material, and take the nourishing material sustained. Throw away and sustain the nourishing material. That was what the winnowing fan must do. But Vishayarati, Shurpanakha, who is the embodiment of sense pleasure, throws off all that is substantial and goes after all that is vain, empty. Empty pleasures of the senses. You can have more and more pleasure. You can count so many places, exciting places, and plan your life to go from one to another. And we realize so many wonderful places, and your life is short. Even if you live up to 100 and 120, still it is a very short life. And so, at the mass level, people want to go on coming back in repeated embodiments for enjoying pleasures. But that movement is Shurpanakha movement. Shurpanakha was like a terrible snake. Her heart was dusht, a source of wickedness. In the course of her wanderings, she happened to go by Panchabati, where Rama lived, Rama, Sita, Lakshmana. But Rama was, in the beginning, as she sees, Rama was alone, seated on a seat, and Rama and Lakshmana was with him. But seeing Rama, Panchabati so gai ek bara, dekhi bikal, bhai jugal kumara. She saw Rama and Lakshmana. And suddenly she was so drawn to their enchanting personalities. It is a storyline in a more mystical way. Vishaya Sukh restricts dhyana and jnana. Dhyana is represented by Lakshmana and jnana represented by Rama. And Vishaya Sukh is as if after restricting these two movements, so Shurpanakha becomes deeply drawn, fallen in love for Rama and or Lakshmana. Bhrata pita putra urgari, Purusha manohara nirakat nari. And Tulsi elaborates this, the role of lust, passionate love. Passionate love does not have any sincere relationship with anybody. Your mind is dominated by passionate love. Then you forget about your duty to your brother, your father, your son, and all your near and dear ones, your own husband or wife, and you go after another personality who seems to you very charming and enchanting. Hoi bikal sakamana hina roki, jimir ravi mani, drava ravihi biloki. Ramayana is being presented as a dialogue between two personalities. Here Kagabhushundi is telling Garuda that Shurpanakha, blinded by passion, is drawn to anyone, whether the person is brother, father, son, with a lustful vision. There is a special type of jewel called Surya Kanta money. It melts when the sun rises. In the same way, the mind of such a person melts under lust. रुचिर रूप धरि प्रभु पहीं आ जाई, बोली बचन बहुत मुस्काई. Having assumed a beautiful form, a deceptive form, the demons had that ability to change their form. And she changed her form into a beautiful lady and went before Rama with smiling face and said, Tum sam purush, namo sam nari, yah sanjog vidhi racha vichari. Now the state of passionate love, what type of delusion builds in the mind? One has fallen into passion. Two things are highlighted. No one in the world is like me. And no one in the world is like him or her, depending upon your relation. So lover and loved, they are the only ones in the whole world. And they should be united. That's yoga. God has planned such a wondrous occasion. Mama anurupa purusha jagamahi, dekhyun koji lokati hu nahi, ताते अब लगी रही हूँ कुमारी, मनुमाना कुछ तुम्हें निहारी. She said to Rama that no one in the world is as beautiful as me. And I consider you also. No one in the world is like you. So God has planned for us to be united. That's all. That's what He existed for. So far I have remained a virgin. But having seen you, I have chosen you to be my match. And with this I'm going to conclude for today. Om. Om. Ram, 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 Ram. Ram, Ram, Ram. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. Om. Prayer for shower of Karuna, Mayras, grace of God for all of you with the blessings of Shakti, Bhakti and Mukti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukumva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat.